They came galloping in. And who can blame them? Now that I can see all the tuna that's on that toy, Dimitri. Holy cats. That is quite the spread. Welcome, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday indeed. Checking in with some of our rescued residents. That is the infamous Tiger Trio. Far from infamous. These three brothers are three of our 100 plus rescued residents who call the Wildcat Sanctuary their forever home. Jim Brill says, NJ is here live. Finally, glad to have you, Jim, in the house, as you always say. Christina Perkis is here. Hey, Christina. Hey, Beverly Lawrence. Let's see who else is joining us here. Kimberly Coleman, hello to you. Laura Heath says, another pool party. That is right. Maria Vane, hello to you. Another pool party. Yeah, I mean, I think, truthfully, I think it was Dash and Daisy's pool party that was kind of the gateway that kind of opened up the floodgates, if we're going to get punny, talking about pools, where that summer season was a little bit slow to come on, but just in time for Dash and Daisy's pool party, things really kind of heating up in earnest around here in northern Minnesota, at least. And so that means we can open up the pool. So Dash and Daisy obviously had their pool open. We've been doing all types of kind of pool posts. So you're right, we are kind of carrying that theme along, aren't we? And I hear Leo doing some singing in the background. If he's welcoming everyone to the live post as well. And you can just tell, I'm sure you guys are able to hear that with the microphone, how far away I am from those two. And while I was turned on Leo and Mansa, who are singing their heart out, I missed out on, I think that would have been Dimitri going all the way in the pool. Hey Torben, thanks for those 50 stars. Glad to have you with us, my man. That, of course, is the Tiger Trio. Zeke kind of standing on the edge of their pool right here. And I just love kind of where their pool is, kind of up towards in the front of their habitat, and you get to see their whole free-roaming habitat behind them. Some trees, some perches, some platforms. You'll even see that there's some trees that are enclosed in cattle panel, because we're hoping just to get a little more shade coverage for these boys. Notoriously, they are not too kind on their trees, particularly the pine trees. See, Dimitri just kind of crashing through the water there. But if you look on the far right-hand side of the screen, you'll notice a pine tree that's pretty much branchless all the way up to about 5 or so feet off the ground, where the tigers are not able to rub on it like they do whenever they walk by. Hey, Carrie Norman, thank you for the 50 stars, or Normandin, sorry for mispronouncing that. Karen Daughtry says, Tiger pool party, you're right. Can't help ourselves. It is officially summer here in Sandstone, Minnesota, and that means we really need to enjoy the summer, because it does not last long here in northern Minnesota. As we often kind of talk about, it's construction season here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. It's this season, all these things that happen during the summer months, because, hey, we are not able to do certain things, obviously. Things like a pool when it's February in the middle of winter here in Minnesota. So it is great to have a kind of a return to summer and see kind of the pace of life that the cats get during the warm months. Hey, Kathy Silva, thanks for joining us. Lauren Elizabeth Lynn sounding the horn, letting all the fellow Girl Squad members know that we are doing a live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Thank you for that, Lauren. Hey, Pamela Dudley, hope you're doing well. Let's see who else is here. I like that. Stephanie Barron calling the Tiger Trio the Three Musketeers. How accurate. And you have Zeke, Dimitri, and Griffin, and I know these boys' stories for 5 posts. In that these guys came from an industrial breeding facility. And one that was breeding these guys on exactly that, an industrial scale to fuel the demand for cats like them, or cubs like them, to be used for photo opportunities and props for cub petting. And unfortunately, when you see people in the comment section, we know that many of our followers know our mission here and why our cats are here living at the sanctuary. But unfortunately, oftentimes it's people in the comments who are unaware of why cats are ending up in cages in the first place and come into the comment section on the Wildcat Sanctuary to try to berate us about setting cats free and why did we put them here. And hey, we're happy that we're able to give these 3 the best life that they possibly can in captivity, but that's the last thing we would ever want for any wild animal, is to live a life in a cage. And when people are breeding these cats and using them for only a very short period of time, that cubs that are used for cub petting are only used in about a 4-week window. So what are these exploiters having to do to keep filling that kind of gap where they're going to have cubs that they can keep on putting on display and keep on profiting off of? They're going to breed. And once those cubs exit that window, oftentimes they're discarded. Oftentimes they're sold, ending up living in backyards somewhere. And then, they're discarded and they disappear. Unfortunately, oftentimes a tiger parted out is going to be much more profitable than it would be a living tiger having to pay for its care and food, as opposed to, hey, if I were to, God forbid, kill one of those tigers and sell its parts on the market, its blood, its teeth, its claws, its fur, unfortunately they have medicinal properties in some areas of the world, and so that cat is then going to be sold just for its parts. And again, these are all just kind of symptoms that really kind of rain down from the rampant industry of cub petting, a very cruel industry, and one that we often talk about here at the Wildcat Sanctuary because it's very important that we do. What do you think, Mr. Dimitri? He says, I'm too preoccupied with the pool, but I'll tell you what, my brother Griffin's got something to come up and tell you about, Hey, mister. Yeah, look at you. Do you know that you are just so pretty? You're not just handsome, you are pretty, mister. Yes, sirree. Thank you for that. Thank you. That was such a nice hello from such a nice boy. Hey everyone, if you're just joining us, I'm going to flip through some comments here. We just got a big hello from Tiger Griffin of the Tiger Trio. That is 1, 2, 3 rescue tigers enjoying themselves on a beautiful summer day. Hardly a cloud in the sky, maybe a couple here and there. We were just talking about about these boys' history and kind of the epidemic of cub petting here in the United States and why so many cats are in captivity because of that. And I really appreciate kind of going through the comments and seeing really for how good of an understanding of you guys have of kind of the crisis that is, and how many people are misinformed when they are kind of going to interact with wild animals to take photos of them for social media or for whatever reason. So that's awesome to see and awesome to hear, and I can only imagine that you guys are kind of setting out on your own and doing a little grassroots advocating and talking about the things that we speak on live posts and photos that we share. It really is incredible, and I often say just how informed you guys are and how effective that is towards making a difference for cats like these guys. Whoa. What do we think, Mr. Zekers? Is it tomfoolery time? He says, well, we about lapped up all the tuna off those toys. I took a big old dunk in the pool. I think Dimitri took a big old dunk in the pool as well. Hey, Teresa, D. Victoria, thanks for joining us. Indeed, a pool party with the Tiger Trio. Caretakers place some of their toys in their pool, as well as, of course, adding a little bit of tuna incentive, which, as you would imagine, all three made very quick work of. Lori M saying, just say no to cub petting. Let them be free. Hear, hear. Making Cusack saying, I don't see Griffin. Well, we got a big hello from Mr. Griffin. He's hanging back, kind of enjoying the shade here. Mr. Griffin is a very independent boy out of these three, I find. You know, he knows what he likes. He knows when he likes it. He certainly enjoys his pool time. I have some of my favorite photos are actually, it was kind of the waning sunlight on a late summer's day, and Griffin was hanging out in his pool. And obviously the tigers have that beautiful orange coat, but with kind of that sun coming down in the late day, and seeing Griffin in that pool and that orange coat just really kind of being embellished by the orange sunlight. It's a very fun photo. So yeah, he's hanging back. I've always known Griffin to do what he wants, when he wants to do it, on his own time. And we've always known Zeke to be kind of out of the three brothers, who's now trying to submerge himself in the pool, as kind of the alpha of the group, and very much gung-ho. He's going to be the first to come and greet caretakers. He's usually the first to run into their bedrooms if they're being shifted in for cleaning or being fed in there. And then you have Mr. Dimitri. Mr. Dimitri, who's also an independent thinker in his own right. Him and Zeke, I truly find to kind of be partnered up a little bit more than any of these three cats. And it seems like both of those brothers just really know that they have a good and fun, kind of playful pal in one another, which is great to see. What do you think there, mister? Kind of like seeing the birds fly around, and you're able to see how they'll catch Zeke's attention on occasion as well. Kind of have the phone at a weird angle, so I'm checking up on comments. Hey, Viola, fishing in the pool. No fish. There's I think we might have caught it on a live post or shared it on a video, but there was a time last summer where some frogs, Mr. Griffin took an interest on a bird that just flew by. There was some frogs that had gotten into that pool, and I just remember seeing one of the cats just sitting in the pool, and there goes the frog kind of hopping along, hops on the edge, hops on a toy, and the cats really couldn't care less. It was kind of a fun little cohabitation between amphibian and apex predator. See someone asking where we're located, and thank you for answering, Megan. And just to reiterate, is we are the Wildcat Sanctuary, and we are located in Sandstone, Minnesota. We are not open to the public, and we are forever home for wildcats in need. And we've been spending time with 3 of those rescued residents today, 3 of about 100 plus cats who call TWS their forever home. And every single aspect of the Wildcat Sanctuary is made possible by the incredible people that you see in the comments beside you. As a certified 501c3 nonprofit, we do not receive any support from the state government, the federal government. Everything that our cats cherish and deserve is thanks to your support. And that's just one of the incredible things about TWS, is not just the rescue stories and the cats themselves, but it's the people behind it all. And that's you all. That is you all, isn't it, Mr. Zekers? Are you drowning that ball? He says, I'm gonna take care of business here. Yes, sirree. And kind of a good, you know, I always kind of like taking these moments of kind of a great little slice of life for the cats. And, you know, Zeke says, hey, I'm having fun in the pool. I'm going to keep on doing this. Dimitri, smart little boy, he knows that caretakers, they didn't just place tuna on their toys next to the pool. He knows that there is tuna in other parts of the habitat. So he's snooping around. As you can see, Zeke's still having fun. And then Mr. Griffin just watching from afar. He's got a nice shady spot in there. I can only imagine he's going to let his brothers get all the splashing out of their system, and he's going to have a little private time in the pool. Looking at a few comments. Lovely day for the pool. I couldn't agree more, Stephanie. And I love looking at all the toys just orbiting Zeke in his pool. Just an embarrassment of riches. I absolutely love it. And Yada, that your animal advocacy and love for animals carries over to when you play Tomb Raider, that you were never able to fight the tiger or hurt the tigers in that game. Well, I commend you. That's fun. Hey, good afternoon, Christine M. from New Jersey. Glad to have some love from the East Coast. We got lots of love from the East Coast, and definitely picked up a lot of new TWS love from the East Coast when it would have been Bruno's rescue last January. Holy cow, it feels like that was just the other day, but indeed that was in January, where Kelly and myself embarked to go pick up Mr. Bruno after he was being housed at the MSCPA, where he had been found wandering a neighborhood in Boston. Mr. Bruno was being owned illegally, we suspect as a pet, since it is illegal to own a serval in Boston, or the state of Massachusetts, excuse me. So that was great to kind of pick up a lot of maybe new followers from the East Coast. We know that we already do have a lot of supporters checking in from all parts of the United States. I see some goofy looks in some eyes here. I think Dimitri says it's time to play. Kathy making Bruno jokes because we don't talk about Bruno. And occasionally there can be kind of little alpha moments or moments where they're wanting to be a little dominant with each other. And I'm just going to keep an eye on that because I have a lot to do with that. Typically, sometimes these guys want to show off when people are around. They can get a little overstimulated. So I'm just going to keep an eye and make sure that nobody's getting too rambunctious with one another. And if they are, I'll have to make sure that we're going to keep on moving to give these guys some space because we don't want anyone getting in a tiff with each other. I see Thomas Nelson asking a question. Do these cats ever have to deal with wild snakes in the compound during the summer? I sure hope none of those cats get bitten by a poisonous snake. You know, it's a good question, Tom, and fortunately, we here in Minnesota, we have the brutal winter, which really kind of locks things down for about 5 months out of the year. Yeah, you guys don't need to show off for me. We'll keep moving. We had fun with the pool party for a little bit. In that we don't have a lot of venomous or poisonous insects or reptiles here in Minnesota. So, fortunately, that has never been really something we've come across. So we have had plenty of cats kind of pick up little garter snakes, and we'll see that kind of those observations in the spring months. But no, never has there ever been a snake bite. Most definitely, we're keeping an eye out for bees. We have ground bees that can really be a nuisance and not only hard on the cats, but hard on the caretakers when they're in there doing their mowing or picking up poop or what have you. So most definitely are kind of remaining cognizant about stuff like that. And then surely you have seen some of the kind of topical preventatives we've had on our wish list, like Frontline, for example. That's definitely a big question that we get asked in our kind of spring and summer months is, how do we help keep the bugs off the cats, things like ticks? And truthfully, a lot of, look at Pandora, a lot of, kind of the younger cats and cats that may not have kind of any type of physical issue where they're going to be able to groom that cat. And, cats that are either senior or those with mobility issues, we're going to be applying that kind of topical aid to help them get rid of those ticks or anything like that. And typically fleas aren't too big of an issue here in Minnesota as well. I'm going to zoom way out on Miss Pandora. Tracy F. is asking, how do you frontline a tiger? That's a good question. And first of all of the big cats that have had, as well as bobcats, and hybrid cats, and servals, now that I'm thinking about it, all of those cats who have had wellness exams this spring have had Frontline applied to them, as well as caretakers have their own means of applying Frontline to the cats when they're not sedated. I'd have to find out exactly how they do that, but I think they're just able to depress it right on the cat's back when one caretaker is feeding the cat and the other one's going to be focusing on applying that medication. I'm going to take a right because it's kind of a sunny day, and I can only imagine Leopard Shadow is going to be hanging out in a nice shady spot in her habitat. And truth to tell, we're going to do a little bit more of a sanctuary stroll, but I am going to be on vacation next week and have really been putting my heads together with the interns on just getting our ducks in a row for that vacation, and I still have a handful of desk work to do to make sure that everything's in line. Well, that doesn't mean we can't come and hang out with the kitties, Miss Shadow. Let's see here. We're going to go walk down and see if we can see her down in the front half of her yard. And happy to have everyone along with us today. Oh, I see the special gal. It's Friday here. We made it to the end of the week, everyone. We're coming up on a long holiday weekend too, which I'm sure will be very much enjoyed by many. Oh, good timing for us. Shadow's got a chicken piece there. Heard Alyssa was doing her feeding and Shadow is munching on a big old chicken piece. And she's a delicate eater. She takes her time. She's going to do a lot of crunching, kind of a lot of chunking off. But she says, I am one happy kitty. Hey, Megan Cusack, thank you. I will very much enjoy my vacation. It's going to be quite relaxing. Hope the weather shapes up a little bit. I'll say that. Let's see. Hinyata, you're asking about Noonda's group and if cats are going to be grooming each other like that, can have topical medication. I think that's a very good question, and I think it gets into the territory of it's a very specific question and one that I want to make sure I'm giving an accurate answer on. So I'll have to maybe check in with Elise and some of our hospital staff on the correct answer to that, because that's a very good question. If anybody didn't see it, you're asking about Noonda's group. They're seniors but can't have topical because they groom each other. Let's see. This darn Facebook. Whenever I try to look at the comments, I could see the first part of the comment, Hinata. But surely I'll go and get the accurate answer for that. A little bit of tigers in the pool and leopards in the sun while she's enjoying some chicken. And we know Miss Shadow as one of our geriatric or senior residents here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. And a special gal indeed. Miss Shadow really has kind of put us through some scares. You have, young lady. Yes, you have. And fortunately, Shadow's in good health and is a part of our comfort care program and receives anything and everything she could ever need to ensure that she's living a happy and comfortable life here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Let me scroll up. Let's see. Jim was asking, Judson, last week you mentioned Logan had an issue of one of the members pointed out and how you're going to mention it to caretakers. How did he make out? And so what we noticed on that post, Jim, is Logan, he was kind of laying down and he just stood up and seemed a little arthritic and seemed a little bit stiff. So I went ahead and made a written observation and a verbal observation to the caretaking staff. And so they kind of take that stuff into consideration, and when they kind of are assessing Logan's diet and if he's going to have any changes in medicine or things like that, they're going to go forward with that. I did not hear or follow through if, maybe we just caught Logan in a moment where he had been laying there for some time and his leg was a little asleep and he was stiff. But I made the observation. Caretakers know that maybe that's something to be looking for, and they're going to be following through to ensure that maybe it was some one-time stiffness, or maybe it is kind of a sign that Logan's getting a little bit more stiff as he ages. But I appreciate you following up with that. Lauren Elizabeth Lynn is asking if anyone can hear the crunching. Well, Miss Shadow, I sure can. And I no longer can see a chicken piece down there, so I am guessing that you just swallowed that thing, the whole thing, she says. Ooh, yes, sirree. Liz Green, old age stiffness sucks. Yeah, that I can agree with. I can always tell when I haven't drank enough water today. I'm about as stiff as a dry leaf. I could probably stand to drink a little more water today. Daniel, always with the obscure question, which cat roars the loudest at the Wildcat Sanctuary? That's a good question. I've always kind of stood by Leo as the biggest vocalist here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, so I'll have to give him that reward. I'm going to go through a few more comments here. Shadow looks like she's just got her head in the grass, but she's actually grooming her paws. If you're just joining us, Shadow had a chicken piece that she was, a delicious chicken piece, I might add, that she was just finishing up here. So that's her getting her little mitts clean, and now, Miss Shadow, you got the whole rest of the day ahead of you. What is it? You're gonna go hang out on the perch and platform, soak in the sun, maybe hang out on your hammock in your indoor bedroom, or maybe it's hooting and hollering at young whippersnappers Jeremy and Simon across the way. You tell us, Shadow. Fun. All right, everyone. I was just scrolling through a few more comments there. Are you going to find a nice place to lay? I'm going to take a guess that you're going to curl up right there, Miss Shadow, and then we'll be able to say goodbye to everyone. Either you're going to curl up there or that grass is suspiciously dead. And suspiciously because it looks like that might be one of your favorite potty spots. Is that one of your favorite tinkle spots? Is that why there's all that dead grass there? Might be. Well, as Shadow's kind of rooting around for any lost morsels from that chicken piece she was wrapping up, I think we will take the time to say so long to everyone and really appreciate everyone coming through for yet another live post here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, splashing around with the Tiger Trio to kick off the day today, and a little glance at Pandora, and now hanging out with Miss Shadow. But nonetheless, everyone, happy Friday. Hope you have a great long weekend, and that you have a happy Memorial Day. From us here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, thank you all for everything that you do for our rescues. Nothing that you see here would be possible without your support, and we so much appreciate it. Have a great and safe long weekend, everyone. See you soon.